Kia ora from Aotearoa. It's Poppy speaking here with the ninth wave energies of the sacred Mayan calendar. And wow, things are changing massively. I'm calling this one Decoding the Matrix. So actually today is 13 Dog, so it's actually the last day of the knife trecena. And the knife trecena is just all about truth, honesty, detecting truth and discernment. It's about cutting away the illusions and limitations and the blockages. And the solar eclipse, that wasn't really a proper solar eclipse, that happened on the day of 9 Death, was actually in the energy of the knife trecena. And that was all about the beginning and ending of cycles. So look, I've been carrying on doing these journey therapy sessions with this amazing journey practitioner, Marie, who's been integral in my life in bringing me out of very dangerous, life-threatening situations and actually discovering truth and what the heck's going on in my body. And in doing that, I've had quite a few revelations to see even how the matrix is held together and how it's in everything. And agents of the matrix are everywhere. So they showed up in a journey session as sons of Baal, and they are legion. They are in everywhere. They are the matrix agents. They're in tax departments. An example of their maliciousness in tax departments is that there's a high level of suicide related to tax demands. And there was someone who wrote a book from New Zealand. He became a politician later, but he was disclosing some of the depravity that happens with tax department personnel who actually would brag when someone had committed suicide, when they had actually destroyed a soul. So that's just an example. Tax departments. It's in psychiatric personnel. Okay, so what are psychiatric personnel? Are there to drug people, to stop them from connecting with themselves, to split the mind. And also there's been history of electric shock treatment, and what has been used often in MK Ultra programming also comes through psychiatry. I have had memory now of being in MK Ultra after ritual. I was taken, I was beaten up, my anus and rectum hurt like hell from all the rapes, and my spine was incredibly sore, but at the same time they still tortured me more and used electric shock therapy and drugging. Now, some of the drugs that they've used in MK Ultra are like LSD type things, and certainly some of the visions that I was having as a child, some of them appeared real, some of them didn't. There was a movie screen with a very AI looking Zeta Grey type form on it, and this could have been the drugs, I don't know. And the doctor that attended me was actually in the form of a mantis being, and there was a reptilian walking around the room with his tail sweeping around. Every time my frequency got to a certain height, it seemed to be measured somehow, I was shocked again. And of course, the shocking means that you won't remember what has happened to you, and the shocking also, it also stops you. Oh gosh, it does a whole lot of things, but it splits away things in the brain. It isolates part of the brain away so that you're in parts, you're separated. And drugging, and this is why I think MK Ultra people have this super intelligence, actually. I think it comes from the programming. The drugging open up the psyche to different perceptions, and they try to use it against you, of course. There are many people, and I believe Michael Jackson was one, that he was MK Ultra programmed and probably not really aware of the paedophilia that he may have been involved in. He was actually a victim, and he was actually, like, I know and other people know, that he had a beautiful soul. But there are many SRA survivors that are out there that have gone through MK Ultra. They've been programmed to be butchers, they've been programmed to be snipers, they've been programmed in all sorts of things. And there's some now that are being incredibly honest and talking about it. And it was programming that was done in labs, MK Ultra situations. So these are sewn up, and then you have it in medical personnel. So I have been going to medical personnel trying to find out what the heck was going on with everything that's going on in my body, and all I got was met with resistance, treated like a mental health case. They would not take what I said as true or real. I've had to find my own way, and I have had to use my own intuition. When I lost sight of my intuition, that's when I got in problem and got rolled by cults and people who were part of that cult, and people that have also been through MK Ultra programming, I believe, and torture and things like that, but have not owned up to it. Yeah, so at the moment I got the intuitive prompting to take the bunch of herbs that are in the black salve that extracts cancer from the body. Now, I've done extensive black salve treatments. My body's covered in quite a few scars because of needing to take out a lot of this cancerous type tissue, which I also believe is kind of somehow, it's an inorganic type of cancer. Now, in SRA and all of that, often people are used as medical experimentation. I believe that's what's happened to me. The herbs that I am taking have activated everything around my throat, my head, my shoulder, and the thigh, where I actually treated a lot of bone cancer. I thought could have been that. I've never had official diagnoses. I've had to do all of this myself. I've had to be intuitive. I've had to save my life myself. Yet, if I go into the medical personnel, or they treat me as a mental health who's obsessed with my health and over-concerned and all of that, even though the illnesses that I have had have been life-threatening ones, that's what they come. They just see it all as a medical, they also see it all as mental illness when you actually try to get medical assistance and you've been doing it naturally, intuitively. But I'm actually the one who saved my life, and these have been the ones that have been trying to take my life out. We also get it in education systems, educators, different people, priesthoods, brotherhoods, legal professionals, armed forces. I've just sort of really connected the dots that my father was in the British Royal Marines during the war, and found out that that is elite programming. So I would not be surprised if MK Ultra is also in that, and he was certainly instrumental in further programming in my life. His cruelty towards animals, towards me, being brought into one of my rituals. I've been far too easy and soft on my father, but confused because he was my father, the one that I was supposed to love. It comes through politicians. As soon as anyone takes their oath, they've been got. It comes through the police force. They are legions of the matrix. They are agents and gatekeepers. And the parallel is just like we were shown in the Matrix movies, where Neo goes out and he's supposed to be the one, a team with the divine, really. And agents of the Matrix popped up everywhere. We could see that it was related to tax departments, it's related to conformity, and he would not conform. And these agents could just step into anybody's body at any time, because there's a network of programming that goes through everyone. So as soon as keywords, key things happen, then what do you know? Next thing, you're judged as a mental health case. It was quite funny in Matrix, the last one. He was being seen regularly by a psychiatrist who was giving him drugs and regulating his connection. Every time he started to connect with the truth, he was getting got. So sometimes these movies are telling us something. Yeah. So look, with 13 Dog, it's really about ascending in frequency with love, loyalty, and justice. But also, the white NIGHTWAVE was about the ascending earth in connection with the divine time frequencies of Father Sky. True justice and alignment, presence and cosmic knowledge. And it was within that started in the Serpent trecena, which is also about wisdom and justice, and relates to the cosmic flow of energy in the body and the free flow movement of divine energy through the entire chakra system. Never give your chakras over to anybody for safekeeping anything. There's a whole lot of people that want to send you energy work on the internet, that want to give readings, that want you to consent to all sorts of things, and we have to be really wise now and savvy about that and use our discernment really, really well, because they're always trying to contract people to different things. Like you have the Zeta Greys that have been there's places on Facebook when they're saying, if we came and visited you, would you come on our spacecraft? They're actually seeking consent. So just be savvy, be wise, don't give your consent away to anyone. Within this trecena knife, we're right on that last day, we're reflecting, we're cutting away illusions, limitations, and blockages. So this is about truth discernment, clarity, being that truth detector, and the bullshit radar. It's more of a time that we really do have to connect in with our discernment really, really well. And the other thing is that I sort of had quite a few downloads just before the retreat about the presence of Niburu, could be related to this eclipse, and now I'm starting to see, there's quite probably evidence of that. What I do love about that is that my initial vision of Niburu was that it was a brassy, reddish coloured planet that had masculine sentience. It was here on a mission. The mission was to actually magnetise away the false grid, which is belief mostly, and contracting and consenting with all these gatekeepers of the matrix, the overlords. But it was pulling it away. So that means that it's pulling it away from our consciousness as well. And so there's been a lot of progress made in people dropping old programming, seeing how things work out. So that so-called eclipse happened on the day of 9 Death, and it was, so that's Simi, that's like the owl who can discern through the spirit world and can see that world. So in this 3D world, we get to see with our 3D eyes something that's not really real and not really true. And then you go into the lower fourth dimension, and that's where a lot of these agents operate out of. That's where a lot of their magic is done. And when you get to see into that world, you get to see the beings in that world. You actually get to see a truer version than what you do in 3D, and then we can rise up even above that into 5D, where we are actually in that pure love alignment with the true God, the true Heavenly Father. When I did my journey yesterday, I talked to God, because there's a lot of God confusion that comes with satanic ritual. And what is God? Because this God is Lucifer for many, and you'll know because they'll be just so attached to commerce and competing and taking and energy harvesting off other people that is their God. But when you go to the true God, then you'll be connected with nature. You'll have a desire of Mother Earth's will for her freedom and to be free of this matrix and this containment that we're in. So I think we're really well on the way of breaking that matrix container wide open. And that's my little download that I wanted to share with you today. And so much love. We are working on this together. Especially, there's just so many beautiful souls that are doing all this work. They are banishing the sons of Baal. They are banishing Satan's energies and henchmen. They are banishing, and these ones are going off to another universe. And I do know that Niburu has a lot to do with that, and it's right here, it's right now, and it's a really, really a time to be so well aligned. Just be so well aligned with Father Sky, the true God, and that doesn't hurt to say that anymore after my journey, and Mother Earth. Love to you, so much love. Oh yes, and just a little addition as to the graphics that I've used here. What I like to do after I have a journey therapy, I get a lot of revelation, I receive a lot of healing, I break down a lot of programming, and so what I do is I burn the tissues that were in the journey therapy, and I add frankincense and myrrh and rose oil so that it's all blessed and contained. It's just a little progression for me about the fires of unconditional love and acceptance.